We are back. We are back. We are back. Thunder taking game three, up 117-103.
Yeah.
Oh, it ain't popped up yet. I
Can you
see
hear that?
see what.
Do it sound like a fan is in the back?
Nah, I don't hear nothing. Oh, we both on. So it's working. Let me see how I can see the comments and stuff from this way though. And the number. Could you see like you can see the number of people and everything too?
Mm-mm. Nope.
So you just screen, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Welcome in,
notification.
welcome in. Drop a comment. Thunder.
Oh, hold on.
You said what?
It's giving me like this little. Let me see if I can connect. I'm trying something. My bad.
Mhm.
Hopefully I don't mess nothing up.
We can still hear you. It's just dark. And that's what you see. 118-103. That look weird. Maria Mello and Vince from Frost Bank Center. Yeah, like shout out to the players for taking over the media world and TV and stuff. But that just looked weird. Maria Mello and Vince.
Well,
Nah,
oh yeah,
like the
sure.
broadcast team and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hey, they getting the old school journalists out the way, huh? They
Yeah,
taking over.
right, right,
I mean, I think it has its pros and cons in that.
for
I mean,
sure.
I like the players' perspective, but I do, when you're watching it, you do see like some of the, I won't say call them flaws, but like the rookie mistakes, players versus
Yeah,
like journalists.
I think they just got to find a balance and a mixture, of
Right,
between players and journalists and fans and everything, because
right,
is it we all get you get in a situation where you know maybe it's like Bart I feel like Barkley and Kenny Smith and them was like a great first batch, and they'll probably never duplicate that again, but like Barkley and Jordan was best friends at one point until he started doing TV and he had to give MJ
you
some.
got to commentate.
You know what I'm saying? He had to keep it real, and that messed up their friendship. And
Right, right,
you know, a lot of people ain't gonna be willing, to do that. So
right.
I think Barkley and them are just like one of a kind.
No, I think, but I think they like a perfect balance. Because Kenny Smith he brings like he almost can be a actual journalist. Like if he was not a ball player, you can see him being a full time journalist. You know what I mean? Actually writing in the paper. You know what I mean? Doing like real journalist work. And I think over the years, Charles Barkley kind of developed, but his charisma and
Yeah,
his comedic, you know what I mean, and actual seriousness kind of plays into
yeah,
their dynamic.
yeah. Because like when they had Kevin McHale, he was good.
Right,
But
right,
I think you could put anybody with Kenny and Chuck, and it's gonna kind of work. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched this season. I haven't watched much of the Peacock guys, Mello and Vince Carter and them.
yeah.
But
Oh, that's what they're with now. Peacock.
yeah, yeah, Peacock and what ABC or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so but I haven't watched much of the season. Jerry McCain, 24 points. Yeah, at least 76 bench points, franchise record, including Seattle when they was back in Seattle.
Man, they came to play today, man. Jalen, what's his name? Is it Jalen Williams?
Yeah,
He got it started early.
yeah. Oh yeah, the other Jalen Williams. Yeah, light skinned Jalen Williams.
That's funny because I was just asking my son. I was like, "Hey, man, both their names Jalen Williams." And I ended up one J Dub, and he was like, "Yeah, the one that's playing." I said, "I was talking about the one that ain't playing." He was like, "Both their names is Jalen Williams."
And that's what it's gonna take. To win a championship, it takes multiple great performances, not just by your star.
Right,
Not just by you know. This is not Wemby versus Chet, even though we want it to be.
right,
But it ain't Wemby versus SGA either. Last game, I feel like the reason the Thunder won was because of Hartenstein and the way he was able to rebound and keep a body on Wemby. In this
right.
game, it was Jalen Williams. Like you said, Jalen Williams set the tone, and that got everybody else going.
Yeah, it did because it kind of showed McCain that he can come in and still play free. He don't have to
Yeah,
try to do too much. He can just come in and really just play his game. And I'm really becoming more of a fan of that kid, man. Cause he's nice. He fearless.
yeah, yeah,
He fearless. I thought maybe it was because of just it's OKC. They got a team, so you can kind of come in and play a little free.
right.
Uh, but the way he coming in playing, man, he coming in and looking to score. He ain't looking to just kind of
Hmm.
take.
Nah,
I
he
man,
like it's like they told him what his role was. It told him, this is what we want from you, and he's coming in and literally trying to do that. He's not being, he's not hesitating. He missed a lot of open threes, during this game, but he just kept shooting it until they started falling. And
mhm,
man, this team, man, OKC, they just got so many different dudes
they do. They got
that
squad.
can hurt you.
No,
Yeah.
and that's the thing about this team, like you said, man. They got so many dudes that anybody at any time in any game can go off and give you those.
Hmm.
Think about it. Game one, even though they lost, Caruso came and showed up.
Caruso, yeah. But he had 28 or something?
He had 30.
Psh,
He
yeah,
30, eight threes.
yeah. The next game it could be the AJ Mitchell dude or
Right,
maybe J Dub returns and go
right,
off. Like
right, right.
they got
Yeah.
the
This,
Isaiah Joe and Jeremy. This is unreal.
and I think even the Isaiah Joe kid he's kind of quiet this series.
Yeah. He
Yeah,
he been quiet. Lou Dort been quiet.
extremely
Like
quiet.
yeah, this
Extremely quiet.
yeah.
He
He
almost be
usually
he
he
almost be.
usually making a couple of them rainbow threes, but I feel like he ain't scored all series.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like,
Yeah,
have he even been in the game? Sometimes I feel like it because he's so
yeah.
quiet.
When they sub him in, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot they had him. But
That's
he gonna mess around and go for 20 something next game.
right, right. At any moment, and Chet still ain't even had a big game yet.
Chet ain't had a big game, and that's just man. Like I love the Spurs. I love what they got. I love what they doing. Wemby, I do think Wemby the best player in the league.
Right,
I'll say that, but I don't think they getting past this Thunder team. Like Wemby had to be the best game of his game one had to be the best game of his career, and that
yeah,
was a double overtime victory. So he had to be that brilliant just to get a double OT victory.
right. And it
And
and it was some suspect calls. What I mean by suspect calls on the coaching point, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at, I'm like, why has he got Jalen Williams and Caruso guarding him? Even though they're
Yep.
dogs,
Yep.
still, like, size wise, they can't do nothing with him. And you
Yep.
seen the team said, no, we're gonna put in Hartenstein, and he's just a big body that he got to fight through.
That's it. That's it.
That's
And
it.
I think that was the difference. Like that first game, Wimby, they hid Wimby from him. They hid
Right,
Wimby. I mean, they hid Chet from Wimby.
right,
And that was like, I've never seen a big, I've never seen a coach do that with a big. Like, you remember early on in like, Steph days or whatever,
right.
when they would try to pick on him because he's the smallest player on the court.
Yeah,
But when you're the biggest player or the tallest player on your team playing against the tallest player in the NBA, it's like automatic that you have to guard him at some point. But to avoid guarding him, it's crazy. And I think that's why that game was so tight. It's because they
yeah,
did whatever they could do for him not to guard him. And now, like, he's not guarding him full time, but he's guarding them at times, and that's
right,
making a difference. Hardenstein is guarding them a lot. That's been the difference in the last two games.
right, right. And I think Hartenstein is. I think his physicality is what neutralized. What's his name? Wimby's size. His
Yeah,
size, the fact that he's physical with him, and he makes
yeah,
him work for everything he got, is actually wearing him out more.
yeah, yeah. He grabbing on them, he leaning on them. Like that's all your job is. Like if last game he went crazy and had 14, whatever how many rebounds he had, but I don't even care about you getting the actual board. Just wear Wimby down because
Yeah,
like that's the flaw in the Spurs roster right now. Like tonight they were at full strength. De'Aaron Fox, he's still obviously not 100%, but he's on the court.
right.
But the one
Exactly.
thing they don't have is, and Luke Cornett, he's a solid backup center, but they don't have a guy they could put next to Wimby and,
Yeah,
he could take some pressure off him when it comes to, being an enforcer. Like there's I'm gonna say it off the top of the head, but I don't remember the last time there was a big man who maybe it's Joker. All right, as I'm thinking or whatever, maybe it's Joker to some degree, but you need your big man can't be your star and your enforcer. He can't be
no,
that.
no.
He has to be just the star. Your enforcer, his job is to take pressure off of him. Take somebody hit him, you got to go out and do the dirty work or whatever. You can't be the star and doing the dirty work. And that
Right.
might be why the Joker hasn't been back to the finals, or since. You know what I'm saying? So
That
I think that's what Wimby needs.
that's a good point. He'll benefit from a Draymond,
Yep.
a who's another four?
Drake,
Uh,
Bobby Porter's
Portis.
from yeah.
Yeah, he would benefit from
Isaiah Stewart.
Porter. Yes, yep. Yeah, he needs
Yeah.
something like he needs someone like that. And you know what's funny because it takes me back to thinking of the old Spurs when they were
Hmm.
playing David and Tim Duncan together.
Yep.
Even though at the time Tim Duncan came to the team, David Robinson was the guy.
Yep.
But when
Yep.
Tim Duncan came in, he seemed like, nah, he's gonna be the guy. I'm gonna just
Hmm.
play the enforcer role. I'm gonna do all the dirty work
Yep.
and seeing them go on a run. I
Hmm.
think that's Spurs' next move.
Yep.
That's gonna go over to the top. Is
And
they
that's
find
that was literally what OKC did. OKC when they first got good, so what 2 years ago when they were
Uh,
good, it looked like they would go make a championship run, and then they ran into size problems or whatever. And
yeah.
because Chet was the center. Then the very next year they go get Hartenstein. That changes everything.
Yep.
That one move. And I think that's what the Spurs, I think they're one move away from matching everything that the Thunder has to throw at them. Cause
I agree.
Champagny, like Vassell, like that, dude, the Spurs are nice.
They are. I like because they got a lot of versatility. Like they
Yeah.
like baby brothers of OKC because they
Yeah.
have young talented players that can play these different spots. But it's that one spot that they missing that they gonna need and they gonna have to find. They can find it for cheap. They ain't even gotta
Hold on, man.
spend a whole lot.
Hold on, man. I just thought of something, Mace. Hold on.
Talk
I
to
just
me.
thought of something. I made, I
Uh-huh.
made, I made a post asking who you had. Who I ain't say it
Oh,
to you, but I just said who everybody had for game 3. And if my mind serves me right,
I,
you said the Spurs.
I had the Spurs. I had the Spurs. I did. I had them for game. I had them for this game,
Uh-huh.
which which I would have been right if they would have continued to play it like they did coming out the game.
Oh
Like
man, 15-0 for the jump.
I mean, just 15-0, and I'm like, God, okay, this might end quick the way
That was
this goes.
crazy. Yeah, that was
But
crazy.
when you got a team like OKC, man, they can walk you down in a blink of an eye. Cold
Man.
thing about that, I tell you. So I'm watching the game in the house, right? Lil Mace called, like, hey, Pop, can you come pick me up? All right, bet I'm on my way. From the moment I left, got to the gas station, which is about 2 miles up the street, I put the game on my phone. I'm looking at the score, and it's like, I think it's maybe 31-24. And I'm like, what the?
Mhm.
How did this happen? Like, what's going on? I
From
said, see, they
15-0.
game from the house.
Man.
And I'm like,
I-
God, what? And it's funny because he said it. He was like, man, I knew that league wasn't gonna last long. I'm like, that, you know what? You're right. I didn't think of it.
Yeah.
I didn't think that they were gonna be a team that was going to be down. Like a 15-point lead ain't nothing to them.
I wonder what's the stat on that on like on if a team go up 15-0 at the beginning of the game, how many times did that team win?
Hmm.
Like 15 ain't a lot of points, but
No.
I would almost bet a good amount of money that if you go up 15-0, that team usually won.
If you was to
I'm,
put a
I'm
percent, if you was to put a
that's
percent, you 60-40, or you more like
man, I'm
40
like 80. I'm
80
like 80-20.
80-20. Okay.
I'm gonna try
Okay.
to look that up tonight. I'm gonna try to look that up. I bet because and then in the playoffs too,
Right. Right. Right.
man.
That's a heck of a observation because, and I'm thinking about it more so because I'm like, this is in the beginning of the game. This ain't like second half. This ain't like maybe later in the first quarter. This is the beginning. They didn't score a bucket until like what, three
Yeah,
to the game.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
SGA didn't score a bucket till the second quarter.
right. What he end? What he end with? I didn't even see what he ended with.
I didn't either. Hold on, I'm over here messing with the comments.
Because they had McCain, and I'm pretty sure they would have probably had what's his name, Williams.
Right. Because he had to have at least, I think he had 14 or something, and that was all. Maybe he might have had 17 if he hit 1 3 in the second half.
Oh my gosh.
But that
Yo,
was, you know
two-time
what?
MVP is getting 14 points and still winning by 15. That's nuts.
14. Wow. Hold on, I'm looking right
Well, I
now.
mean, let me not hold that to that 14 points on that stats, but still,
Right.
Yeah, you still win by 15.
You gotta, yeah. If you're the Spurs and you hold SGA to 14 under 20, a
Come on,
guy that averaged 30,
30.
you got to win that game.
So let me ask you this. So now I know you said you got the Thunder and you had the Thunders from the entire way.
Hmm.
What can what can the Spurs do to even this game to
Dude,
go
I think obviously the easy answer would be Victor Wembanyama has to be like out of this world again, but I think that's unfair at the same
right?
time. So as a collective, I think it falls on De'Aaron Fox.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
think uh, I think a lot of this is going to land on De'Aaron Fox, and the fact that you know and it's unfair. It's unfair, but we got to nitpick.
Right.
They won game 1 without him. Game 2 they lost, but it still was I felt like this game 3 was the worst game.
And for
You
all of
know,
them, yeah.
out of all of them. And what was the one thing that changed is De'Aaron Fox was back.
Hmm.
And I don't think they got worse or anything. I just think, you know, I feel like Fox came in and tried not to, like when LeBron was talking to Kevin Love years ago about fitting in and fitting out.
Yeah.
I think De'Aaron Fox accidentally fitted out in this
Out.
game instead of fitting in. And
'Cause-
his intentions were to fit in.
right.
But
And
I
hit the
think if you have a solid game from Fox, I think they got a good chance of tying it up.
right. Yeah, man. You know what? You, I ain't no real Spurs or OKC fan. I don't really care. But I'm almost like looking at it like I don't know if the Spurs got anything else, to be honest with you, that they
Yeah,
can pull the rabbit out the hat and bring in game 4 and get a win. Cause I only say that because I feel like coach found his rotation. He found his neutralizer to Wimby.
yeah,
And that's what that's 2 games in a row that he's been
hmm,
able to kind of neutralize Wemby with Hardenstein. Where now you're
yeah,
not even asking, you're almost using Chet as how LeBron used to be with Cleveland, almost like just protecting the rim. When Hardenstein got him pulled out, now he can come in and block shots, attempt to block shots. Um, and you keeping Chet off of him.
yeah,
And now Chet can roam. His length can close out. You know what I mean on threes. He can get
hmm,
to the basket and block shots. And
yeah,
I don't think the Spurs got anything. I think OKC figured them out. Um, but I also think that this may end a little. This may you might get a gentleman sweep out of this one. Just from what I
ooh, ooh,
just from what I seen today. Today was a telltale to me, and most of it was because when you get less from Shea and
hmm,
you get what you give
yeah,
and you still win by 50,
yeah,
yeah. Spurs to me take way too many threes. I don't know. To me, they take a lot of threes, and I know this is a game of threes, but I think when you got somebody like Wemby, why are you not posting him? Why are you not putting his back to the basket? I know that ain't his game.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel like they needed to feed him more in spot stats where he's unstoppable. I'm looking at the highlights now. And
Right.
everything, he's getting that's easiest at the rim.
Exactly.
And you let him hit the three, he could shoot the three, but I don't want him camping around the 3-point line like at all.
No,
You
because
shoot
then
it when you shoot it, but
he's out of
get
position. even for offensive rebound. He can't even get to offensive.
I think he had so I don't know if you can see the stats right now, but well, I remember when I was watching late in the fourth quarter or at the beginning of the fourth, he only had 4 rebounds at one point in the fourth quarter. So
Oh,
him him not reaching double digit rebounds is
unacceptable.
unacceptable. That can't happen. Like
Mm-mm.
we're not talking about he got 8, 9. If we talking about under 5, 6, I don't know what he finished with, but when it mattered, I know he had 4.
That's not good. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
Mm-mm. None whatsoever. Because that ain't. I mean, like I said, that height is neutralized. A lot of the
Yeah,
stuff that they got one was him getting putbacks. Him was getting easy buckets, getting lobs at the basket. He getting pulled
yeah,
away from the basket. I don't like that because I think, and I mean, I get it. You don't want those players like, you know what I mean, laying on him. Putting his weight on him. But still, with him, that height and size, man, come on, man. He need to be at the basket. I feel like he need
yeah,
to be at the too much size.
yeah.
But that yeah, man. I don't know. I don't think they got enough. I'm seeing that. I feel like they ain't got enough. Cause
You
I,
might
I
be
feel like
right because as I'm watching, I'm looking and I'm looking at the highlights of that. We didn't even mention. I don't think we mentioned Casey Wallace.
all this.
Like he's just like the perfect teammate. I feel like he don't make any mistakes.
Mm,
Shout out to him. He made the all defensive second team,
mm,
and that's off the bench. That's tough.
that's
But
tough.
yeah, they got man. Yeah, the Spurs in trouble. Spurs
Yeah,
are
I mean,
in.
I feel like that. I feel like they're in trouble. I feel like there's no real, to me, what I feel like there's not a lot of cohesiveness, especially with De'Aaron Fox coming back in today. You
Yeah,
you can see things look sporadic. It didn't look.
yeah,
It didn't
yeah,
look playing with a lot of fluidity.
yeah. Because the way like Dylan Harper and Castle played, without Fox, like they looked amazing. And
Yeah,
then tonight it looked like I don't know, like some of their aggression wasn't there or something. I'm not sure,
right.
but it wasn't the same.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it wasn't because it looked like they were playing more. They're watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Watching De'Aaron doing, watching, or allowing De'Aaron to kind of get his rhythm back. You know what I mean? Because De'Aaron Fox is a talented point guard that you need.
right.
And I feel like when you got somebody like that, you add another dynamic score. But I feel
Hmm.
like it came a point where they're doing a lot of watching. You know what I mean? Not really a lot of like flow movement.
Hmm. Hmm.
But
And
yeah,
people in the chat, man, if y'all are putting comments in the chat, I am not ignoring y'all. I just can't see them. But
hmm.
if you are, appreciate the love and we'll figure this thing out.
Right. Because man, it's. I'm trying to see it from mine, but it looks more of like a comment thing, but it's not any comments. It's only from
Same.
yeah.
Yeah, same here. So when we do it the other way, it shows up and I can see it right there. So I can't see nothing. So
There you go.
matter of fact, let's try to go back to doing that. See what happened or whatever. But OKC up 2-1. They say the series don't start till you went on the road.
Oh, they got one. Spurs,
They
man, they
got
got
one.
wall this one.
How long? How does that make sense? The series don't start or it started. All right. The series started already because the
Mm,
Spurs won on the road.
right.
So now I guess it's restarting again. Hey, it's the series restarting, and we about to restart on this live.
and D. Get it? That's funny. That's funny.